Do you ever feel like you're working your butt off every single day, but somehow you're still living paycheck to paycheck? Do you look at wealthy people and wonder what they know that you don't? Well, my friend, you're about to find out. Today, we're diving deep into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the book that has sold over 40 million copies worldwide and completely changed how millions of people think about money. Robert Kiyosaki didn't just write a book, he exposed the biggest lie that society tells us about wealth. And I'm going to break down the 10 most powerful lessons from this book that will literally rewire your brain when it comes to money. So grab a notebook, because what you're about to learn isn't taught in any school, but it's exactly what separates the wealthy from everyone else. Before we start, please subscribe to our channel to never miss any of our uploads. Done. Now, let's get into business. If you haven't read this book at all, let me help you understand what's going on in there. So there's Robert Kiyosaki, and he's telling the story of growing up with two father figures. His real dad, the poor dad, was highly educated, worked for the government, believed in job security, and always struggled with money despite having a good income. Then there's his best friend's dad, the rich dad, who dropped out of school at 13 but became one of the richest men in Hawaii by understanding how money really works. Throughout the book, Kiyosaki contrasts the completely different mindsets these two men had about work, money, and wealth. So these 10 lessons I'm about to share are the key principles that Kiyosaki learned from watching these two completely different approaches to money. Lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. Here's the first mind-blowing truth. Poor and middle-class people work for money, but rich people, they make money work for them. Think about it. When you have a job, you trade your time for dollars. But there's a problem with this. You only have 24 hours in a day, so your income is capped by time. But wealthy people create systems. They build businesses, buy rental properties, invest in stocks that pay dividends. While they sleep, their money is out there working, multiplying, growing. This is why a millionaire can make more money in a month doing nothing than most people make in a year, working 40 hours a week. The question you need to ask yourself is this: what can I start building today that will make money for me tomorrow, even when I'm not actively working on it? Lesson number 2. Financial education changes everything. Here's something that will probably make you angry. You spent years in school learning algebra, history, and science. But did anyone ever teach you how money actually works? Did they teach you about compound interest, cash flow, or the difference between good debt and bad debt? Of course not. The school system was designed to create employees, not entrepreneurs. They teach you to work for money, not how to make money work for you. This is why you can have doctors and lawyers who make 6 figures but are still broke. They have professional education but zero financial education. Financial education is the foundation of wealth. It's learning how taxes work, how to read financial statements, how to spot good investments, and how to protect your money from inflation. Without this knowledge, you're playing a game where you don't even know the rules. Lesson number 3. Assets versus liabilities. This changes everything. This is the most important lesson in the entire book, so listen carefully. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket every month. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket every month. Sounds simple, right? But most people get this completely wrong. Your house. If you're living in it and paying a mortgage, it's a liability. It takes money out of your pocket every month. Mortgage payments, property taxes, maintenance, insurance. But a rental property that gives you positive cash flow every month, that's an asset. Your car liability, it's worth less every year, and you're paying insurance, gas, and repairs. But if you bought a food truck and it generates income, now it's an asset. Rich people spend their money on assets. Poor people spend their money on liabilities but think they're buying assets. Every single purchase you make, ask yourself, is this putting money in my pocket or taking it out? Lesson number 4. The rat race is real, and you're probably in it. Let me paint you a picture. You go to school, get good grades, find a secure job. You work hard, get promoted, make more money. So what do? You buy a bigger house, a nicer car, upgrade your lifestyle. But now, you have higher expenses, so you need to work even harder. You get another promotion, make more money, spend more money, and the cycle continues forever. This is the rat race. The faster you run, the faster the wheel spins. You're making more money, but you're not getting ahead. You're trapped because your expenses always rise to meet your income. The only way out of the rat race is to build assets that generate passive income. When your passive income exceeds your expenses, you're financially free. You can choose to work because you want to, not because you have to. Lesson number 5. Fear is your biggest enemy. You know what separates wealthy people from everyone else? It's not intelligence, it's not luck, it's how they handle fear. Everyone is afraid of losing money, but poor people let this fear paralyze them. They keep their money in savings accounts, earning 1% while inflation eats away at their purchasing power. Rich people understand something crucial. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. They're not reckless, but they're willing to lose money to make money. They invest, they start businesses, they take calculated risks. Here's what Rich Dad taught. Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Every successful person you admire has failed multiple times. The difference is, they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it and tried again. Start small, take tiny risks. Get comfortable with the possibility of losing money, because that's the only way you'll ever make serious money. Lesson number 6. Think like an entrepreneur, not an employee. Even if you have a job right now, you need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. Employees work in the business, entrepreneurs work on the business. Employees trade time for money, entrepreneurs create systems that make money. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow, but you do need to start building something on the side. Maybe it's a small business, maybe it's investing in real estate, maybe it's creating an online course. The key is to own something, not just work for someone else. Ask yourself, what problems can I solve? What value can I create? How can I help people while making money? This is how entrepreneurs think, and this is how you build wealth. Lesson number 7. The tax system favors the rich. This might surprise you, but the wealthy often pay a lower percentage in taxes than middle-class employees. How is this possible? They understand the tax code and use it legally to their advantage. When you're an employee, you get paid. Then you pay taxes, then you spend what's left. When you own a business, you earn money. You spend money on business expenses. Then you pay taxes on what's left. It's a completely different game. Rich people use corporations. They understand deductions. They invest in tax-advantaged accounts. They don't cheat on their taxes. They just play by different rules. Rules that are available to everyone, but most people don't know they exist. Lesson number 8. Learn to sell and communicate. Here's a skill that will make you more money than any college degree. The ability to sell and communicate effectively. If you can't sell your ideas, your products, or yourself, you'll always struggle financially. Most people think selling is slimy or pushy, but selling is just communicating value. It's helping people see how your product or service can improve their lives. Every successful person is good at selling, whether they're selling their business idea to investors, their skills to employers, or their products to customers. If you want to increase your income, improve your communication and sales skills, learn to write better emails, give better presentations, tell better stories. These skills will serve you for the rest of your life. Lesson number 9. Work to learn. Don't just work to earn. Most people choose jobs based on salary and security, but wealthy people choose opportunities based on what they can learn. They understand that skills compound over time. Instead of just chasing the highest paycheck, think about what skills you can develop. Learn about investing, marketing, leadership, negotiation, financial analysis. These skills will multiply your earning potential for decades. Sometimes it makes sense to take a lower-paying job if it teaches you valuable skills. Sometimes it makes sense to work for free if you're learning from someone successful. Your education doesn't stop when you leave school, it's just beginning. Lesson number 10. Knowledge without action is worthless. This is the most important lesson of all. You can read every financial book ever written, watch every YouTube video about money, attend every seminar. But if you don't take action, nothing changes. The difference between dreamers and achievers is action. Start small, but start today. Save your first $1,000. Buy your first stock. Start your first side hustle. Open your first business bank account. Perfect is the enemy of good. You don't need to have everything figured out before you start. You just need to take the first step, then the next one, then the next one. So there you have it, to 10 life-changing lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But here's the thing, knowing these lessons won't change your life, only applying them will. Pick one lesson that resonated with you the most. Just one, and take action on it this week. If it's building assets, research your first investment. If it's financial education, buy a book about investing. If it's starting a business, brainstorm your first idea. The wealthy aren't smarter than you. They don't have secret information that you can't access. They just think differently about money, and they take action on what they learn. Your financial future isn't determined by how much you make, it's determined by how much you keep, and how hard that money works for you. And now you know exactly how to make that happen. Which lesson hit you the hardest? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more practical money advice that actually works, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Your future wealthy self will thank you for it.